The Mexican cartels are some of the most powerful and ruthless criminal organizations in the world. They operate like multinational corporations, moving billions of dollars through drug trafficking, extortion, and organized crime. But with all that money pouring in, one big question arises: how do they hide their billions? Today, we're exposing the secret financial operations of the Mexican cartels, how they launder money, use offshore accounts, and manipulate legitimate businesses to keep their fortunes hidden from authorities. The enormous cash flow of the cartels. The drug trade generates an estimated $500 billion annually worldwide, and Mexican cartels control a significant portion of it. With such a massive cash influx, they can't simply deposit it in banks without raising red flags. Unlike legitimate businesses, cartels deal mostly in cash, millions of dollars in untraceable bills moving across borders daily. This creates a logistical nightmare for law enforcement trying to track the money. It also means the cartels have to be incredibly creative in finding ways to clean, store, and move their wealth. Smuggling cash across borders. One of the oldest and most effective methods the cartels use is physically smuggling cash across borders. In the US, where drug sales generate billions, cartel operatives transport large sums of money back to Mexico using hidden compartments in vehicles, private planes, and even commercial shipping containers. Some cash is even moved by human mules, who carry stacks of bills strapped to their bodies. Once the money reaches cartel strongholds in Mexico, it is dispersed into various laundering schemes to make it appear legitimate. Fake businesses and shell companies. Cartels don't just bury their cash, they integrate it into seemingly legitimate businesses. They set up shell companies, businesses that exist only on paper, to move dirty money through legal channels. Common fronts include car dealerships, real estate firms, construction companies, and even restaurants. These businesses allow cartels to mix their illicit earnings with real revenue, making it difficult for authorities to distinguish between legal and illegal money. A single car dealership, for example, can be used to sell cars that don't exist, generating invoices for millions in cartel cash. Money laundering through casinos. Casinos are a goldmine for money laundering, and the cartels know it. In Mexico, Las Vegas, and other gambling hotspots, cartel operatives use casinos to clean their dirty money. They buy chips with illicit cash, gamble a small portion, and then cash out the remainder as winnings. Since casino records show the money as legitimate gambling earnings, it becomes incredibly difficult for law enforcement to trace its true origins. Some cartels even own their own casinos, giving them full control over the operation. The use of cryptocurrency. In recent years, cartels have embraced digital currencies like Bitcoin and Monero to move their money anonymously. Cryptocurrencies allow cartels to transfer millions of dollars without relying on banks or traditional financial systems. Transactions are encrypted and decentralized, making them difficult for authorities to track. Cartels also use crypto ATMs and online exchanges to convert cash into digital currency, further distancing their funds from law enforcement oversight. This new frontier in money laundering is rapidly evolving, forcing governments to keep up with new regulations. Offshore bank accounts and tax havens. The world's wealthiest individuals use offshore accounts to hide money, and cartels are no different. They set up accounts in financial havens like the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, and Panama, where banking secrecy laws protect their identities. By using shell corporations and nominee directors, people who serve as fake owners on paper, cartels can control billions without revealing their true ownership. These offshore accounts allow them to store money, invest in global assets, and fund their operations while remaining virtually untouchable by authorities. Buying political protection. Money laundering isn't just about cleaning money, it's also about keeping law enforcement and governments out of the way. Cartels use their billions to buy influence, bribing politicians, police, and even military officials. This high-level corruption allows them to continue operating with minimal interference. In some cases, cartels have even infiltrated government agencies, placing their own people in positions of power to protect their interests. This strategy ensures that their money laundering networks remain intact and undisturbed. Investing in real estate. One of the safest ways for cartels to store their wealth is through real estate. Luxury mansions, hotels, and commercial buildings serve as both investments and money laundering tools. Cartels purchase high-value properties using cash, often through front companies or straw buyers, people who buy property on behalf of the cartel to avoid detection. In cities like Miami, Los Angeles, and Mexico City, cartel money is deeply embedded in the real estate market. These properties can later be sold or rented out, generating clean income from dirty money. Art and luxury goods as assets. Cartels also use high-value assets like art, gold, and luxury cars to store and transfer wealth. These items can be easily transported, have high resale value, and are difficult to trace. Paintings by famous artists, rare watches, and custom supercars are often purchased with illicit funds and later sold to clean the money. Some cartel leaders even operate underground art collections, treating rare paintings as a form of currency within the criminal world. Trade-based money laundering. Another sophisticated method cartels use is trade-based money laundering, TBML. This involves manipulating invoices for goods to move money across borders undetected. For example, a cartel might export a shipment of cheap clothing but falsely declare its value as millions of dollars. A cooperating business on the receiving end will then pay for the goods, effectively moving dirty money across borders under the guise of legitimate trade. TBML is extremely hard to detect because it blends into regular international commerce. Stock market manipulation. Believe it or not, cartels have even infiltrated the stock market. By working with corrupt brokers or creating their own investment firms, they manipulate stocks to launder money. They purchase shares using illicit cash, drive up prices through coordinated trading, and then sell for a profit. This allows them to convert dirty money into legally recognized investment earnings. Some cartels also invest in startups and private businesses, giving them another avenue to legitimize their wealth. Bulk cash storage and hidden vaults. Despite all their high-tech laundering methods, cartels still rely on old-fashioned bulk cash storage. Billions of dollars are kept in secret vaults, underground bunkers, and remote locations guarded by heavily armed enforcers. In some cases, cartel bosses even bury money in barrels or stash it inside walls. This method isn't foolproof. Authorities have uncovered hidden stashes worth hundreds of millions, but it remains one of the most widely used tactics to keep money out of the banking system. Threats to the cartel's financial empire. As governments crack down on money laundering, cartels are constantly adapting. The US and Mexico have intensified their efforts to freeze cartel assets, seize properties, and shut down financial networks. Banks have also implemented stricter regulations, making it harder for cartels to deposit large sums of cash undetected. However, as long as the drug trade continues to thrive, so will the cartel's ability to launder and hide their billions. The never-ending battle against cartel finances. Stopping the cartel's financial operations is one of the most challenging aspects of the war on drugs. While law enforcement agencies continue to seize billions in assets, cartels always find new ways to hide and move their money. The battle is far from over, and as technology evolves, so do the cartel's tactics. Mexican cartels are not just drug traffickers, they are financial masterminds, capable of moving billions without leaving a trace. Their money laundering operations are as sophisticated as those of global banks, and their ability to adapt makes them nearly impossible to eradicate. If you found this deep dive into cartel finances eye-opening, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Baruch Wealth for more in-depth looks into the hidden world of wealth and power.